The student was arrested for using his mobile phone on cheating during the annual examination. So just like reading, while reading the question itself, you know where the error is, right? Where is it? Prepositional error. The student was arrested, seems fine, for using his what? Mobile phone. Why? Yeah. So what do you need to change in part 3? You remove on because it's not the right preposition. And what do you put? What's the right preposition that you put here? On is wrong, yes. See, here we're looking at what is the purpose of an action, right? So it answers the question, what did he use his mobile phone for? What did he use his mobile phone for? For cheating, right? For is the right preposition, bringing in the meaning of what was the purpose of the action. What did he use his mobile phone for? For cheating. Yeah, that makes sense. So error is in part 3. As the salary did not match his expectations, he did not accept the job. Is there an error? Yeah, option 5, right? You read it, you don't see any error. As a conjunction here brings in the meaning of since, right? Since the salary did not match his expectations, he did not accept the job. As also is accepted, no error. Okay. Let's look at it. She had created problems even when she was on training, while she was still waiting to take full charge of her duties. So, phrase replacement. Okay, so obviously looking at the options, we know that this is the highlighted phrase. She was still waiting. Right? So, what are our options? She has been waiting. She had been still. She would have still. She has still to wait. Okay. The question here is, to break it down, we need to understand what's the general tense in the sentence. So, if it's a past perfect tense, there are 2 actions, right? One action that happened before and one action that it should be in the simple past. So, if it's a past perfect tense, look at the context. So, which is the action that is coming first? One action is creating problems. The other action is taking full charge of her duties. Now, looking at my options, everything seems out of place for me if you ask me. First of all, I would change the entire sentence. Instead of on training, I'd probably say in training, right? That would be a more appropriate context. You know, you can be in training if you were on a training course, or if it was an on-job training, then I will use on, right? Just quick clarification. I would say on-job training, OJT, as it is known, or I'll say on a training course. But in this context, I would still use in training when she was in training, right? So she had created problems even when she was in training. It kind of starts there, and then we have another action happening while she was still waiting to take full charge of her duties. So from the given options, do you think the phrase as it is correct, or do we have to change? So if you ask me, none of these options are correct. So if you see, she has been waiting, it's a present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. Incorrect. In a past perfect tense, I don't need that. She had been still. Construction is incorrect. If I have to change it, I would say she had still been waiting. Right? But then again, in a past perfect sentence, I don't need that context. The next one, she would have still. Logically incorrect. She has still to wait. Again, logically incorrect in terms of construction. So none of these options fit the bill. And when you go back to the context, right, she had created problems even when she was in training, while she was still waiting to take full charge of her duties. At this point of time, I would say the only option that I can click is no correction required. However, if I need to syntactically, as in constructionally in a sentence, it's incorrect to use it that way. You can't say she had created problems even when she was on training, while she would have still. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Financial planning for women is tricky considering they have to take career breaks for a variety of reasons such as marriage, childbirth, and looking after kids or the elder. Financial planning for women is tricky, right? You'll have to imagine punctuations, okay, because punctuations are never there because we ignore errors pertaining to punctuations and finding errors, right? So financial planning for women is tricky. Why? Considering, so this is what the fact is. The fact is they have to take career breaks for the purpose of what? A variety of reasons, such as, example is given, marriage, childbirth. So when you have such as, you obviously have a list of series: marriage, childbirth, and looking after kids or the elder. Let me look at the comments. Look after, right? Look after is a phrasal verb, Raj, right? Which means taking care of, right? Remember, there are different phrasal verbs with look. A phrasal verb is nothing but a verb plus a preposition or an adverb, right? So I have look into, I have look for, I have look to, right? These are all the different kinds of phrasal verbs and they all have different meanings. I look into this means I will take time to see what has to be done. I will go over this carefully. Look for means to search. I look to, I look forward to. Those are also, everything is correct. Looking after somebody is also correct, right? It's looking after somebody means I'm taking care of them. Now, I have one subject, kids, and then I have the elder, right? So here, the kids are in the plural form, but elder is in the singular form, right? So, looking at all the parts, part 1 seems absolutely fine. Financial planning for women is tricky. Why? Considering what? They have to take career breaks for these many reasons, variety of reasons such as marriage. Everything seems fine except the last part. Either this has to match the plural subject that is there, right? Either I say elders, correct? More than one person, or I say elderly. That's also a noun form, which means people who are old, right? Collectively. So either ways, the error is in part 4. Sorry. This is no error. Right? So either ways, the error is in part 4.